I think for FlyQuest, the win con right here is to try to stay as proactive as you could be, just to try to bait out the Alexis utility, bait out the net, and try to find that window between the refresh of the grab net of Alexis to find your openings here for FlyQuest. So a lot of heavy thinking that needs to be called out here by Thea.
Ooh, a double sheriff swing mid. SRG's plan pays off. They do lose Dodo not in the process, but happy to now set up a new defensive line with that damage.
Yeah. That's Sheriff battles with the Ghost too. That's going to do immense damage. Thankfully, though, the silver lining is for FlyQuest is that Sarah's low on HP as well. That's a big opener, though.
Still? Melia still on those shots? Oh my gosh. Produce and impact frags all series long, but they have to stick to the end of the round. They have to do enough damage to SRG this time around. Sarah about to creep in. Low health, not going to give him the plot armor this time. Av turns for the timing and gives FlyQuest the sight.
The flank too, because the KJ is down. This is actually good by Noya to move towards the A main.
Oh, little head games.
Trying
to find the forehead of Alexis. Nicely drawing the eyes. They all look towards heaven and they're not ready for him to swing out. There's no way they got mixed up on that Vans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. The KJ falls and you don't think anybody's going to be lurking and flanking. And Noya finds that timing. So two of them are out in the open. And as you said, lined up like bowling pins. And yeah, you hit the strike for sure. And that just allows here for the last person to swing from top of heaven and just get a single fight onto Jenny, and that's going to go in favor of SRG so far. That's just unfortunate there. Another one of those scenarios here when it was player advantage on the side of FlyQuest, but just let that slip. Another pistol round that goes the way as well for Shopfire Rebellion Golden. That's probably going to be the name of the game for FlyQuest when they're going to look back at the tape in this matchup.
Stingers in. They're ready to go. See if they can change the pace enough to make Shopify shake in their boots, and already deadlock set. Then that can't be followed up very much. Oh, okay. They're trying to get up. They're trying to get over. One stinger ringing true. And they're trying to get Not many upgrades to have here. Oh, you're gotta be kidding me, Dodo Nut. Just the outlaw double shot from the hip, able to pick one up, and Sarah comes flying through as well, hunting down another kill.
Bro,
and a second round for SRG as they handle the chaos.
My outlaw crouch no scope does not do that, man. I know how many times I'm like trying to break a recon dart that goes above my head, and I'm crouching and aiming at it, and then my bullet just whiffs, and my whole coach stack gets pinged out, and they blame me at it, and they have. To their own, they're allowed to blame you for it because I should have just switched over to a classic before. Doing it to hit it that way, dude. That's insane.
Not a thing. You know? Hipfire Outlaws chunk the floor like 2 feet in front of you, straight down at an angle. Like
you'll take those.
I don't know how that works. It's different. It is
not
different.
sure
That's what we're
that was
seeing
supposed to be an underhand throw riff. I think that was supposed to be a lineup for logs, and yeah, it's just gonna land at their feet, and they really can't get control now of the B main.
Oh, that follow-up could have been crazy, but SRG gets the knowledge. Sets up the judge to slap down a verdict if anybody wants to try to get into the site. And the noise made here will be calm for a moment, but it looks like the end game for FlyQuest is 80.
Yeah, I mean, after the recon dart that pings all 5, good thing that you instantly grab the orb for the attack side, so that's something for the side of FlyQuest, but like I said, it's going to be so difficult for FlyQuest to really flush into the B site when they don't have nanos towards the logs where Noya is currently playing with the judge. It really comes down to this fight. If Melee could get this one against Lydia, maybe you'll start seeing some players backpedal. But Smokes instead just to contain.
Farming Aor too. Melee of the kills there. Oh my god, Noya just steps out to approach the fight. And they still have a crossfire. No matter how it happens, they always seem to be making FlyQuest have to double take fans. Oh,
and imagine if, imagine if the nano actually did land towards the logs. That was no pressure coming up from the judge. That would have to be a reposition from Noya, a little bit more cleaner for you to get into the site. But I mean, it's just an eco round that you had there for FlyQuest, right? What can you really say?
Right,
pretty much at that point.
Yeah,
exactly. You got that shut down on that second round, so. I like the idea of what they were doing with that stinger buy on that second round, though. You're trying to break that wall ASAP. You break a little bit of a spot and you try to flood in, but those bullets, they really empty really quickly from the magazine, and they didn't have too much to fight back in that second round. But that's now 3 unanswered. Back into now what should be the bonus round for SRG.
creeping out. Which is solo play here. Actually, it's cat help. Nice, a little high-low. Are they able to follow up on this? FlyQuest doing their due diligence of making sure nothing is just peaked at this point, because they've been having their head taken off.
Thing is, right now, I like that FlyQuest. If they choose to fight back towards M1, this will be kind of good, because Donut already used her dash. This gives a perfect opportunity for them to really try to punish Kenchbench in the first place, and maybe force these fights out of SRG right after.
Slow play. Oh my gosh.
Down mid.
They're so confident.
Oh,
wow. Every time they just seek out the fights when they get not even antsy, but get confident about the round. SRG just take it from FlyQuest on this one when they do finally get a bye back in their hands, and they just bring enough to each fight every time.
I'm just scratching my hand a little bit here too, as like what the game plan is going to be in the mid round, because guys, you're playing double controller. You left like that smoke up on catwalk kind of out in the open.
Yeah.
When you're trying to just go for that second wave, the second protocol of what to do here in your default. I know it was an audible call to maybe look for some mid pressure, but now you're getting pinched from both the market side and the catwalk. Instead of smoking one area and then having more bodies to look into one lane, that should have instantly punished Sarah. That was peeking out towards middle with that Guardian. But instead now you just have 4 players watching 4 different angles, and then it becomes a 1v1 duel that's in favor of SRG.
Here.
Edith. Okay, everybody is behind here. Look to make space. And if Edith can clear that space, break some crosshairs, they're just kind of going back to that default textbook jet ascent dash. Seems like the deadlock wall continues to shut them down. Oh my gosh, the net goes through! The Hunter's Fury to discombobulate whatever they had going on Cat. It's just put the pain down with an annihilation. You have to be kidding me. They're just adding it on.
Just trying to cocoon a clove into an ult. That's just funny shenanigans here. I mean, look at them. They're just having fun now. This could still be, this could still be dangerous.
Wait a minute. You can never give it up once the Sheriffs are out in GC. A nice shot from Jazzy on that sliver angle, but it's still Lydia and Noya waiting for the spike to get picked up. They'll actually give it the space, but 30 seconds means Thea's going to have to make some noise here.
Yeah, and all you got to do is watch here towards middle and making sure the tree's covered up. Now they're even cycling smoke outside of the wall that just got dropped here from the side of Alexis due to timer. Now you're just trying to pick up whatever you can, and unfortunately it's the outlaw that you pick up instead of any other rifle, so if you're going to try to pick something else, you're going to make noise. So now you still have to walk contact in with a Sheriff.
Shadows traveling.
No smoke. Plan inside. No time to stop. Just
Even
W's in.
Yeah, but even waited. She walked in there and just stared at Thea until she finally got off the spike plan, and I was like, okay, I'll kill you now. That's so disrespectful.
Took a Polaroid, took it off.
Yeah. Disrespectful in a fun way, right? In a fun way. You could definitely see that SRG are vibing here, Riv.
Amazingly. Both teams don't have flashes, but I feel like SRG is also just using that to their advantage, knowing with these mid pushes, with whatever they're doing, they're not going to catch a flash in the open. It has to be a paranoia, and those are going to be for sight sets. So they're just feeling free to look at every angle and back each other up.
Could be an old classic mid to B split here, but I mean that all of this sent to util is right now towards this B site. It is so annoying to deal against.
They don't know. They're actually this is their time where they're like, can we search any of that util out? Get SRG off their early defensive positions by destroying what they're using to defend. Now, it's all going to be right as you get into the site, and that's when SRG is trying to pop out too.
Cover going out.
Play towards wine, and maybe throw off the scent of what is actually happening here in mid.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Exactly on that call, Riv. You're playing a lot of inserts. You're trying to bait at least a rotate from this TP, the split towards the A side, but unfortunately, Edith is not walking forward continuously. They have to come down now to anchoring on A side from Donut.
Sarah jump into sight, though, as Sarah tries to get right into the action. loses her life for it. The jump up, Donut more than ready for it. Oh, the switch, the back of the fourth, the protection. They're always there for each other, but Donut didn't even need it. Quick to the draw and takes down Edith with the bandit. That's going to activate the knives. Everything is up as we got that dash locked in right now. And I wonder if this is going to wear off. Nobody uses it. All right. Slowing it down a bit. What a shot from Ev. And this is going to be the final ones coming through. Noya's going to have the last say again. And SRG having no trouble to once again win the 1v1s. And who else at the helm of Noya to get the defuse as well?
Just once again, when you have a player advantage and somehow for SRG, they're going to take that one over you. But for FlyQuest, that it doesn't in those scenarios that we've seen so far throughout this series. But I got to say, I was wondering if you're trying to use Bladestorm just to try to break the turret, but at least it forced out the swing from the players for the last few of SRG to figure out the positioning of FlyQuest, and just great individual fights in the end. Yeah, and a timeout, I wouldn't say that's early pretty much at this point, but it is going to be difficult for them to deal with for FlyQuest. Let's be honest with that too, because again, you're playing against double Senti and you're starting off on the attack side, or sorry, on defensive side for SRG. I feel like that game plan still needs to be there here for FlyQuest. If you're looking at the state of the game so far for the last 7 rounds, or 6 rounds rather, maybe there was the one round where you had those two Sentis playing together over on that B side, but if not, it's usually, you know, Alexis throwing and delaying the walls over on that A side. So I feel like a lot better defaulting would be kind of good here for FlyQuest. Maybe not this round. I feel like this round is potentially one of those conversations of Coach Joe to build something with the hero rifles that you're bringing to this round and these 2 ults. I wouldn't be surprised into this type of style. This is something that Coach Joe likes to call, but we'll see if they're gonna invest into these ultimates, which should be easier now with the lockdown towards B.
I'd like to see it. They've gone mid and recognized there's no utility there. Maybe a path in some of these rounds where they try to force a fight on that. And this time they're actually gonna choose that soft site. We'll see how Donut receives this. We'll have a bit of help from Noya, but this is definitely a round FlyQuest can put their foot down and show what a lower buy with some hero rifles can be about. Waiting for the shot. Nice peek. Gets one out. They know the hold's gonna be there from Noya. Very smartly played here. They're still waiting for a bit of the drone. They're waiting for the clears. They throw it on the alt, so it's gonna be by the book. Can't go wrong with that, but they gotta watch the sprays. This is where SRG has somehow gotten the upper hand without even seeing FlyQuest just seemingly fall. Dodging that one. Thea takes quite a bit of damage, but they are gonna have some ground gained here. Lydia, they don't know. Last one, the paranoia came out and they weren't ready. Wait, that's the miscommunication Emily was talking about. Something severed the comms for even a moment there for FlyQuest, and they weren't able to follow up on everything they had done within the round. Now it's up to Edith. Still a possibility, but Alexis just is there for the pre-fire, the shot, and SRG to take a 7th round.
It almost felt too in the conversation of flooding into that B site that Jazzy, it looked like she was, it didn't look like she was lost. She was actually just focused on that left side of the arches in case the swing came out to Lydia from there, and then the other 2 could just swing towards that right. But that miscomm, what was severed, I think was important that you mentioned here, Riv, was that those 2 players that are supposed to watch that left side should have swung way earlier than that. And I think they were just afraid of the paranoia hitting, where it's gotten nerfed. You should be able to jump through and just fight this, but unfortunately it becomes a nice little highlight reel for Lydia back to the site. Oh no, the good old school recon darts. But at this point, solo Odin to get a kill. But yeah, that's a quick start here for SRG to make that 8-0 potentially.
They just can do no wrong right now. And honestly, what do you look at if you're Swim Trek? Right? You're like, okay, they are finding a way to win fights. They're down in numbers, and they're finding a way out of those positions, sometimes pure by firefight, sometimes by outright reading the play harder than the team that's making the play. Like, this is some scary stuff that they have produced on this lower bracket run.
Yeah, the good news about Swimfake, though, is that they're not afraid to play this type of aggro style. Because that's just how they are playing from challengers going into GC so far, and also adding Sleepy Arya to the roster. But definitely, before thinking about that as FlyQuest, that's needing to figure out how to really pull this back. They can't really lose this under 3-0, and they're trying to have their rematch
30
against Swim Check
seconds
Blue.
left.
Whereas at the upper finals, that was also a very big one-sided affair for the side of Swim Check Blue to knock FlyQuest down in this scenario.
Bomb grenade out.
Being methodical about the clear. They will have sight and just playing this one out to
10
the
seconds
max.
left.
Really using each one of these situations too to refine what they're doing, I think, right?
We're just following the script, Riv. Right now it's 7-0,
Yeah.
it's 2-2, it's going to be 7-1, man. It's just how
Oh,
the
no.
Valorant
Oh,
gods
no.
intended.
Can you curse, reverse curse? I don't know what you even just did. That was some weird stuff. We'll have to find out, though. The players will play it out. The results soon to be shown. Oh, wait. Sarah, getting that headshot. They is able to trade back, but it's low HP here. Oh, no. Owned it right away on the chassis. Didn't even have to move the crosshair. Just so aware. And
15
God,
HP, bro.
I swear to
15
God, they get
HP.
stronger the lower their HP gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the heck?
Who's that guy in Mortal Kombat most recently that has like that suit that when he gets hit, it just brings more energy? It's almost like Black Panther as well from Marvel. There's getting hit on the shields and then just shoot back with more power. But 15
Yes.
HP, Riv, come on. And it almost felt like you were trying to play mind games. You're thinking here that Sarah's going to go for the defuse and you're just trying to wide swing into it. But Sarah just had to crouch crab walk into the spike with the crosshair laid up there to get that second kill. Unfortunate.
Oh, over to the other side of the map. Still in the eyes of a Jet, though. Nice kills, actually. Coming in for FlyQuest. Maybe slow some things down as they get to this because SRG is going to speed it up real fast. And they already have a move by Ev here. Clear some other side of the map and make sure that space is safe if they do want to audible.
This is gamble games too. Right now, because you've TP'd towards the B site, but you've also smoked towards A main, you can't really have the audible call from F to say, guys, we can move back towards the A site. Just because of that. They have to re-clear into the spot, and thankfully, Jazzy with the op to make it done. Oh no.
The team's there. Oh, yeah. The paranoia was set up. It almost looked like Thea was not out of position, but hitting that paranoia at the time SRG peaked. It would just be the plot armor again. SRG in the window of util, but no. Fly very much ready with more than one person on that one, and they get that round in their favor. Get a little bit of momentum for themselves.
Yeah, it was probably preemptive as well after Lydia got that fight to TP towards that B site because camera was still up. They still had trips, but you were just guessing here at this point. You're, what, facing a 4 versus 3? So you're just trying to gamble stack into the B site. And interesting enough, Riv, the first round that SRG loses, they're on an eco.
It's been bloody. Well, these 1v1s are crazy. The economy's just been tatters the whole time, and FlyQuest are expecting the aggression they've got every round here. Doing a little bit of that note-taking and paying off as they should be able to get through this one should be able to get through this one with one person going down.
And spike control. I mean, if they're not grouping up with each other here. Okay, there you go. Amelia is starting to activate again. So 2 big rounds of multi-kills for the one that has really been stepping up on the plate here for the side of FlyQuest since the last map of Lotus until this one here. Or into this run here, rather. And hopefully we won't see the replay of Noya trying to shoot Edith on the top of the ledge, because that's trying to shoot a model from behind while they're jiggling like that. It's not easy to hit.
Hardest shots
Thankfully
ever.
we don't. Exactly.
No, harder shot is they're doing that, but they're also pulling their weapon out. So they're doing the look down thing, and their arms aren't up yet.
Yeah.
Absolutely invincible. All right.
A slam towards the B side attempt this round, though, Riv.
This slow
Maybe third
peek
time's
again
a
for the
charm?
op. Yeah, they're ready for the slow walkout. They're trying to crouch under the ops line. And almost reads it. Dodonut doesn't have time to dash out with even the paranoia coming through. And they're ready for even more. It was Noya there last time, but Sarah goes down, and now it's the press W strat from FlyQuest that really gets them under the skin of SRG.
Yeah, right now with SRG, trying to consistently try to walk outside of B main to get that map control is not paying out for them. I think at this point, you need to have the jet. Oh, hold on. Alexis is going to clutch this, right?
Alexis? Melly is there. If Melly goes down first in the fight, nobody's going to go down in the fight. We don't even have to worry as FlyQuest get another round for themselves here. Looking to make it an 8-4 first half after stopping the momentum of SRG 8 straight.
Yeah, I want to see what type of util was coming out there for FlyQuest whenever Donut swung out for that first kill onto the KJ, because seeing that Sarah's being tucked in that corner, I wonder if a paranoia got swung out on the contact too that forced her to swing to hide in and tuck in the corner, because I would have preferred to see op shot attempt, dash back, play your numbers into the B site, and then with that happening, with both of them falling in the first place, Lydia had no way to help out and do a hero play from the logs when she was already pre-firing shots too, giving her position away. So nice of FlyQuest to punish that, and they're just gonna keep going towards what works. Slam, slam, slam here towards this B site to take that control. Orb now available for an ult, and then this might be just simple. I think you gotta find your timing pretty much here, and then have Amelia start going for the late lurk onto this mid take or the B site.
Now, if anything is historical about this, SRG fight forward. Okay, they're actually gonna get themselves out. I was like, did they actually activate as they have every other round? Nice protocol from FlyQuest. Get that space, move in, no waiting. It's been plaguing them on previous maps here, but it's about the setup. It's about stopping SRG from getting back in.
Big 5v5 as well, and Drone's gonna slow Donut away. They have to retake with Guardians too and an Odin for SRG. Flashing
Paranoia hits.
push though.
SRG get themselves next to switch, but they haven't really gained any ground that matters yet. They gotta find the kills. Melia starts them off to make sure they're looking at B main, and here comes the ultimate. Not dead yet, as Melia is gonna be one of the pressure points that SRG has to deal with, and that is signed off on. Just two members now of SRG stand as Dodo not alive. The Dodo Jet trying to get the clutch. Daggers out, dip dodging one, but there's not going to be enough time on this as FlyQuest squeeze the timer down in another round out of the first half.
This ends up being quite decent for FlyQuest at the end of the day here, Rivington, because now we have an 8-4 scoreline where it was a lockdown pretty much for SRG with the double Senti. But this now should be a little bit more difficult. I think initially, though, if you're looking at this proposition, when you're playing double Senti in the past, if you're playing, like, for example, a Vise and a Cypher or something like that, it might be difficult to play on your attack side. But I feel like the deadlock on the attack side could be very similar to, like, a Sage. It's not necessarily supposed to be a Senti, but the information and the slows and the delays you could have with grav nets could be very good here on how you want to scale. And looking at it, they want to set up here for a net that goes right into the market while the camera watches towards this catwalk. So you're going to try to go quick here into market.
See if they get a push on. Awesome catch by the odds. Heads down through. You can see. I was like, wait a minute. What is this stuff? It's moving around. Oh, wow.
Wall towards spawn, yeah.
A big wall towards spawn. So that feels so weird for FlyQuest. Seeing that, you have to wonder which way we're going to help each other. So a little forward space taken by Fly and B main here. They're trying to get a read on the play, and nice little tap by Thea, as that's going to be a site encroached on here by SRG. Quickly getting around Generator to generate another plant for themselves. And what? Edith? Again? Edith with 3 in sight to anchor it, giving a big chance for FlyQuest here. Those are some impact frags.
Yeah, but the two players that you want to stay alive for SRG in Donut and Noya, especially Donut in this position. Oh, the gun's sticking out.
Sees the gun. They say don't peek. I have this angle. But that's the timing. No. Donut's able to dodge it, and they're separated. Now SRG gets to play together. There's a lot of time. Jazzy's just gonna go heaven, play that, so they play the turret so they can actually get a funky spot. And they get together here. Teamwork makes the dream work. This has to be around for FlyQuest. They can grab one of the first pistols here of this map, of this series. There's one for Jazzy, another for Jazzy with the quick flick. They're able to insert themselves with the defuse. A pistol round for SRG, and they surge forward to a possible 3-0 victory.
And that was a close call as well, because you already had both players identified here for SRG, and as you're playing a 2 versus 2, Ev, I feel like missed a recon dart. He went out towards A main instead of trying to scan back towards that site so that Jazzy could maybe get some sort of a room to breathe here as, excuse me, she breaks the wall towards A. I think at the end of the day, you saw those shots miss a bit for the side of Noya, unorthodox by her. And then the one-way smoke that was thrown on Jenny kind of flushed and forced SRG to double swing into the noise that they were making trying to tuck into reload. And it's nice here that Jaskian's able to swing for the last 2 kills, and that allows here 5 unanswered rounds for FlyQuest. As they're looking for pings, I wonder if this is going to be another one of those scale util walls and then just start pushing here towards this towards spawn. I think Alexis has the position to throw a wall back into the door side too.
Wonder what's gonna happen here when mid is they just creep up if they can make enough noise on tree, on long. They got to worry about wine though. Jazzykin starts it off. Able to just shut them down as they start moving in. Noya. Alexis now falls. Really nice teamwork as they're moving through in this death ball right now, but they're still found out. The defense of Melia is so big. And that's going to be for Ev. The cleanup. Nice job circumventing what SRG wanted to do and just keep inserting that death ball, trying to be dangerous.
Yeah, and right now for FlyQuest, the way that they're playing so far, it's even if you're playing double controller and there's only Ev right now as your single initiator and really nothing else to try to find active information in forward lines because you're playing a KJ instead of like a aggro Cypher Cam or something. It's still good in their positioning. They're playing slightly passive, at least off each other to make sure that if SRG are moving into the last 2 rounds with, or from the last 2 rounds, sorry, with the pistol and the eco, they could still be in a strong position at the end of the day. But that's going to have to change now into their bonus round, and Outlaw comes out to take mid control.
Camera taken out.
Oh. Nice cleanup on the util. SRG not delaying one bit here. They try to squeeze in. Right to switch. Sarah cleans up the crosshair break on Jazzikins, and the site is open now as SRG just do not miss.
And that's a nice entry. We were just talking about the aggressive utility from the deadlock. The grav net that was thrown through the window actually netted Jazzikins where she couldn't get anything, or escape rather. And look at the lockdown that they have on B-Sun and the post plan now.
That's tough. And no real utility to even take down those sensors unless it's you making noise. Sweeping in together. Sarah peeks, dips out, leaves Dodo not a shot, and you can just see how they cycle each other in and out to make it a different person than what FlyQuest is expecting to see once they do peek. Here it's going to be a back and forth, a double take cause for SRG. It leaves Alexis alone, but in a beautiful spot to cover this. What a crouching from Thea. The defuse comes through. There's more than enough time, and FlyQuest will find another round in the face of SRG's dominance.
Yeah, 0.02 instead too. If that was a round or a fight that was won here, inside that smoke, that was definitely SRG's round for sure. That was a nice little fight for that retake. We're just talking about the amount of util that was available for them. There wasn't too much, to be honest with you, right? And SRG felt like they had to play a little more aggressively so that they could probably bait shots, and as players are going to try to run down the train, then the sonic sensors would maybe activate here for Alexis. But at the end of the day, those shots didn't hit, and FlyQuest are actually back in this game. Edith now with an operator, so playing gun game pretty much, upgrading for Outlaw to operator, eco for SRG. Great opportunity right now for FlyQuest to keep farming up orbs here for the ults.
Sent for FlyQuest is a good hit. They were able to take down Wadada on it, and I think we're seeing why here is they can right the ship against SRG, but power in numbers for that SRG team again, swarming in and waterfall down into the B site. A quick plant. It's going to be hard to uproot them on this one, but Jazzykins already has the weed killer, takes down Sarah, and it looks like they will try to get in here as they get the team ready.
So tough too, because that's a weapon that was picked up as well, so you can't really move forward to pick up the rifle yet, so it'll have to be pistols to hold the post plan for the last 3 members of SRG.
Quick peek, they've identified one only part of the problem. He gets with a nice shot here. FlyQuest sticking behind each other as they take that highway side just to scream down into the site, and it should be no problem to clean up this last kill on Anoya with a bit of damage still to come through. Edith gets 3. Daggers are online. They're 1 away from the lockdown. Things are actually looking great here for FlyQuest.
I think this might have to call for a timeout from Googly, because as it was very one-sided here for SRG for an 8-0 scoreline, now it's also FlyQuest that just scored up 8 rounds in a row. And I think what's missing right now here, or what's is a lack of discipline for the side of Shopify Billion Gold, because for the last 2 rounds, we've seen SRG being a little bit too antsy and too confident to not play around the Senti util. You've basically created Alcatraz for the last 2 rounds with sonic sensors, and then previously you even had trips from Noya to play towards the market, unbreakable by the way, until you actually swing through. And there's really no ways to fight across the information when your players are falling down, and those that are playing back into site more conservatively cannot trade with you. So yeah, they need to iron up the discipline, to tighten up, sorry, the discipline for SRG's protocol in these team fights now.
Absolutely. And for FlyQuest to actually have this in the tank coming into a 3rd map after having to try and resolve issues throughout the previous maps, this shows the clarity, understanding of what actually needs to be the focus, understanding to not dwell on things. Like, this is the kind of stuff you need to see from teams that are at this point in the tournament and right now fighting for their tournament lives here in the lower bracket final. So it's taken everything. FlyQuest has seemingly found, not seemingly, but found an answer for now as we get our first SRG timeout. So it's going to be good, Vans. We're going to start having ults come online and a clash to get that lead back.
Yeah. And now FlyQuest are doing similar things to what Donut's trying to do here on that B main line, and that's Noya solo to try to fight this.
Hello.
Like this. Droning to try to push her away while we're disrespecting the smoke. Although it makes audio noise, that's a line already taken care of. That's very nice.
Spotting alert bot in mid. See if they don't even decide to clear it this time. It's maybe something they know they can work off in later rounds to come. A kill early here would be huge for Noya. Get that ultimate online to figure out where FlyQuest is. It does not look to be in the cards. Jazikin's gonna get the first blood on the round. Killjoy from a tree peak.
Yeah.
Nicely
so
done.
Far, exactly. I was about to say, Jazikin's been really laser beaming her shots right now on this Phantom play, as is KJ. The pivot from SRG is good though, right? They've lost that line towards that B line. They pushed back the A side first, so technically FlyQuest should be turtling up a little bit more space for them to take. So they're gonna try to go for this 2-on-2 split over A.
A little spam.
Sprays through smokes. Yeah, we'll take those.
Draw back the sensor.
30 seconds
This
left.
one, it might just fizzle out. It's a full knowledge right now with the push out of Edith at the other site that this is going to be an A hit.
Gotta save, man.
It does look like it. They're getting a little push on. I think 1 kill here might activate more. Yeah, but it's not the kill for SRG. Wait. They just wanted that distraction to try to get into the site. They're doing the pressure play down to red on the timer here. And this is also one of the first times that we've seen FlyQuest put SRG in this position. Wait a minute. Oh my, okay. I mean, you still had another one, but that got a little sketchy. But yeah, that was a lot of what was happening to FlyQuest on split. Now we're seeing them be able to do it to SRG even after the timeout.
I still like what they were trying to do here for SRG in the first place, right? By playing a little bit of a 1-3-1.
Yeah.
So I think, as you were mentioning though, Riv, on that previous round where you don't really want to try to mess with the alarm bot, I believe maybe you're not trying to break it right away because you've already lost that forward line from the jet op on that B line. So you don't want to force them to really fall back in that line unless you still wanted to play the Noya insert on B. So I think it's still kind of cool what they did from the Alexis push back with the deadlock utility, but it's just, I mean, they got killed through smokes, man. Nothing you can really do there for Lydia towards A main.
Oh, don't let up. That's the name of the game right now. Do not let up. Okay. Oh, yeah. They're working off that timing in the opening. But wait a minute. 2 come back as Belly is able to get out with not dead yet. Is there a follow-up, though, is the question. And that is a no. Noya is able to take it down. Edith with the trade, though, jumping around, making sure Sarah and Alexis know the daggers are ready.
This is still bingo though, right? You know that Ev is playing towards backside with the Odin. You heard the Omen TP, and you already know that Edith is playing mid with the op. So this is now on Alexis and both Sarah to just tempo together. What do you want to do? Try to wait here with the last second to see if anybody's going to push out. But as you're looking at it, Edith has already cut that rotate. So they know 100% right now that that the last 2 players of SRG are stuck in B main. There's nothing they could do here. You're just going to be ready.
At 30 seconds. You can see why Edith's walking forward with the op ready to take that shot. How far are they going to go? Across the site, into the crosshair of the Odin as they just check behind. And Alexis nails the shot to start them off. A little bit quicker of a pace here from Edith. Dodging out on a few sonar rings in one shot. Just waiting what gathers now, they play their lives to roll this one out. When it needs to be calmed down, FlyQuest are doing a great job of taking that time.
It's kind of crazy that this is reminiscing from Split 2 on that 2 versus 2 when one gets a backstab, the spike falls, but Sarah's still fighting into the B site, but leaving the spike behind. So there's definitely a lack of, or not a lack, I think it's just a lot of, oh my gosh, sound the alarm, there's 10 seconds left, what do I do here at this point? So let's commend here on FlyQuest on how they're currently playing their defensive side. What should be not necessarily harder for FlyQuest in general, it's definitely harder for SRG because they're playing a double senti. You know, leverage that a little bit more in terms of like that deadlock util. They're doing a great job to clear space in the first place, but I think they gotta be quicker on training.
This, I think, a round is a hump that FlyQuest need to get over. They get this. They have 10 rounds in a row right now. You get this, 11.
Huge.
Absolutely crazy, but this is a big alt round here for SRG as they try to scrape it back in their favor. Dodo not looking forward. Double ping. Make sure the right click is quick. Edith goes down, and now they're just waiting for the rest of the pressure. Paranoia isn't quite worked off of just yet. It allows the rest of the team into market here for FlyQuest. And SRG could stop the momentum here on this round. Annihilation. Yeah, so much ready, Vans.
Again, it's Sonic Sensor here too, so they're just trying to wait it out with the timer. It catches one, but as everybody's going to start flooding out, the Sonic Sensor's might hit.
And that kill's coming in for SRG as they just clothesline the rest of FlyQuest coming through. Ev cocooned up and not a beautiful butterfly this time. Alexis gets that kill, and it will not be 11 in a row. SRG gets their 9th.
That was nice by FlyQuest. Sorry, by SRG rather, in that post plant scenario. They were very quick to move in towards that B site, and also understanding here that the win con was really towards the annihilation. And this time I felt like as you were trying to fight back into the market and whatnot, this time around there was actually smokes too, so that you're not really out in the open, and you leverage util on top of that. So Sarah gets a beautiful ping onto Edith that allows Donut to get that pick. We didn't see those a couple of rounds ago when they're trying to fight into the post plant and the lower buy. So a nice little thrifty to keep them back in the game here and narrowing the gap by 1.
Omen v Omen over at A as this is an SRG round. Slow, but still fast in movement. There's not to the front door of the site yet. They are finally working towards mid. Seeing how much they can pressure this alert bot. Oh my gosh. Everybody's like right on top of each other on the extremities. Oh, okay, gets the kill back. Lydia able to find one though as they're gaining a little bit of ground on the map here towards mid.
I love this pick from Edith because 2 rounds ago they pushed out in the open and that trip was there, and like if nobody's pressuring me towards that B line, I know I could move all the way out towards that B main. And then they spotted Noya walking back a freebie. But there's still Thea that's low on HP here.
Yeah, it might be considered that that's no longer an angle trip, but a flat one against the wall for next time. Wall up, sights theirs, only kind of denying an entry here. Giving themselves door double actually push back through. They put the door down and destroy it as SRG take tree.
Riv, she passed solo on top of having with the spike. That was insane. Thankfully, though, she is able to keep that alive and get the plant down.
I think they had the read on it. Just enough people, you'd like to think, that it would work. But yeah, definitely playing it very, very sketchy. Now they have a chance to hold the site. That's going to be the lockdown going in. Space is going to be gained here, but Alexis is going to have to play inside the site, looking for fast kills. Jazzykin on one, but Alexis is able to get another one. Wait a minute. We're doing a little bit of dance over here inside the site as Ev comes up with a kill, and Sarah's just on the outside. Eyes on Spike, planted easily for Tree. Oh, and he dodges the off shot from Jazzy. Nonetheless, a Red Bull clutch for Sarah.
Insane by Sarah, but all individual press by the 3 players remaining of SRG, finding all instant value of every single fight that they had to take. Not only for this one for Lydia, I felt like she got caught off guard, not expecting 2 players, but the first one right here for Alexis on the boxes to get the first pick, from the option of Donut to get a second one too, to allow now the pressure to be settled onto FlyQuest to retake with the spike tickling down. Then you need somebody to go for the instant tap, and that's where you can get those aggro swings, those aggro timings that pans out in favor of Sarah. Beautiful there, 10-10 scoreline, and just those 2 rounds in itself, from a thrifty to this current round, or the last round, it breaks the econ of FlyQuest to give a chance for SRG to
have the
regain the
spike.
lead in his third map.
Holy moly. These rounds, Vance.
Yeah,
They're getting
insane.
crazy. 10-10 now after the series we've had now. SRG able to stunt that lead FlyQuest had of 2 rounds. And now they're down onto a sheriff round. Looking to get on the line here. Edith forced more so into that fight, and a very big return on investment for a full ultimate here from Noya.
Yeah, especially if it's against an eco, that's fine, because now you know where the stack is, and you can decide to fight against that or not, and not decide to fall back instead. This is nice.
Running up mid. Alexis is like, space, free space, give me now. Just taking that insert. Oh my gosh, Dodo Nut. A quick sweep of
30 seconds
Jazzikins
left.
off of tree, and they're all just heading to the back line. Okay, yeah. Looking to pay the toll there. Wait a minute, all these sheriffs are coming online. We're in Game Changers, ladies and gentlemen. And that means you have to be very afraid of getting your head taken off by those.
15 seconds left, Riv. You
I-
gotta book it right now for Sarah. You gotta win
Not
this
enough time to
fight.
plan!
Oh my god.
There was not
Oh
enough time to
my
plan.
God.
No way. That is an incredible kill they were able to find on the transition, and a moment that saves SRG the round for sure.
Jesus, you were talking about insane rounds. I mean, this could not be more intense from like shenanigans. That could have been a Sideshow Melons moment. It turns out to be a
Absolutely.
round here for SRG, but holy crap.
One enemy
See it
remaining.
again. And just back and forth, causing a lot of trouble. Another round where SRG was actually, and that was an equal round, taken to red on the timer from after what they were kind of planning here. So FlyQuest doing a lot to source out what's going on. We have the timeout now, and you know, look at the kill scores across that. This is a game for everybody right now. This
Agreed.
is a great third map.
Yeah, everybody's doing an incredible job right now, and the results definitely show. It was not necessarily as back and forth as we wanted to keep the game intense, but right now when it comes down to the final moments of now elimination for FlyQuest, remember in this series it is now 2-0 for SRG. If FlyQuest loses this round or loses this map, they're out of this tournament at 3rd place. So they're definitely desperately trying to stay in this game, and you're starting to see how at least within the rounds it's definitely keeping it very close.
Swarm grenade.
So they're going to be rushing still. I think this one helps them avoid the op of Edith a bit, but they are running into it. So Edith is still going to have a chance to activate at least once, or maybe even on a collat here, depending on how fast that movement from SRG is.
Placing swarm grenade.
Oh, that's
they're
Jazzy.
playing-
Wait, double op?
Yeah.
Okay, you just confused me. I was only looking at the op, not the player. Double op from FlyQuest. That's how locked in I am. I'm just tunnel visioned on whoever's aiming down a scope right now. And it's going to be the peek out Jazzy. We talked about the op before. Can they bring it back online? It's going to be a push out. They know with the op close, they want to push it, but maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's the help. Ev is there to clear. And this is going to be a man or a player up now to the side of FlyQuest. Oh! Shots through the wall. Lydia goes down, and they can't even see FlyQuest in the fights that they're trying to take. Very nicely done at the last moment.
Spike
FlyQuest
down,
is
B.
able to find that tie once again, unless Noya has something to say about it.
Probably not. 5 versus
Not
1,
at
a
all.
flawless on top of that rift. I think right now for the position that they had off the timeout was kind of nice. Because right now Jazzkins, or she lands a shot or she doesn't. She misses, but she still has double nanoswarm to be able to escape. And when you think you have timing, the Jets dashing through to chase her down. The nanoswarms are slowing out the rest of the team.
Yep.
And then you still have a 3-player stack on the B side to punish everything there. And I don't think SRG was ready for that type of style yet because of this weird angle in play here for the side of FlyQuest. And
Absolutely.
the good news though is that the 2 ops still remain in this round, and they know now that they're facing against double op.
When you walk in a site, you're like, oh, no, don't worry, that's Jazzy. And Jazzy was the one with the op. Oh,
Beautiful.
Edith is the one starting off the round this time as we hit round 23.
Turrets destroyed.
She looks to uneven the score. Lydia goes down, so that's going to be smokes out. This is going to be really hard unless they get the free peeks, and the free peeks are for Jazzy because, yeah, there's another op, and they are singing for FlyQuest.
First one to fall was a smoker as well, so it's so hard for them to get space.
tough.
They're just trying to smoke to pick up the spike at least. and now trying to fight out in the open. Re-swing into Jazzykins here. Jazzykins, if she's going to be overzealous, that might be a chance here for SRG to win this one, but it seems as though I've seen this scenario before here, Riv.
Oh, double ping. Hello. All right. Man, FlyQuest, the things that are happening for them, too, are building so much confidence, giving Jazzy the confidence, too. Like you said, play the double Molly plays right in front of the wall. It's not a jet escaping. That was a runaway protection by Ev. So, yeah, they're really pushing the limit here with what they think SRG is expecting and catching SRG off guard.
30 seconds
And the small
left.
changes from FlyQuest within that round, right? It was Ev
For sure.
breaking the owl drone on the top of Fridge so that Edith could actually proc dash and go through the smoke and punish Lydia right away. So you got to be ready for those type of plays, especially when the owl drones get shot right away instantly. You got to be ready for somebody to do those type of plays. And because I feel like FlyQuest has never really done that
10
throughout this
seconds
half,
left.
it really just threw SRG for a loop.
In Vans.
Now they have,
Look at-
yeah, dude, this is match point.
Look at the ults coming online for what's going to be next round. Like, tips off of everyone being nuclear. This
Yep.
is going to get crazy here.
Match
A lot
point.
up for SRG. One aways from FlyQuest there. Yeah, this is going to be an explosive round, and it has to be. SRG will call the timeout to stop the 2-round momentum here for FlyQuest.
I feel like this has to be quick here, Riv. I don't think you could give a chance here for FlyQuest to try to go for extremity control, to grab orbs on their side as well, especially when you have Hunter's Fury ready or whatnot, off a kill, off an orb, and you have something very good right now for SRG on the attack with the Annihilation. Usually they're trying to keep this to stall here for that pulse plant, but I feel that because FlyQuest for the last couple of rounds have played the B line and also the catwall line a little bit more aggressively, especially playing against double op, dude, there is definitely a chance to throw an Annihilation to try to catch one of those lines of the Opper. They just need to figure out where it is. I feel like it could still default the same way with putting that drone up towards that Fridge. If Ev tries to swing out early again, just throw that Annihilation back towards Catwalk. If it doesn't get broken, it allows SRG to scale up towards mid for that control and start using their Senti utility to block those lanes, cut the rotates, and start splitting that map so they can play numbers against FlyQuest.
Oh, we came into this map saying SRG really wasn't using timeouts, fans.
Yeah, true.
That's a different story here as FlyQuest have
Googling ain't stealing
activated.
paychecks.
Yeah, no more. Put that notebook to work. All right, full A. One of the first times we've seen SRG put all the eggs in one basket like this without having a little map control.
Yeah. It's quick already. They rang the first off shot as well.
There's a Vandal down. They're actually ready to sort out the arsenal and keep this going. Thea's going to play up top. FlyQuest are looking to end this one right now as they get 2 quick kills, but it's answered. And now, not even. Melia gets the advantage. Spikes down. It's going to have to be sawed out. It's split for Lydia and Sarah. FlyQuest have really come out of the woodwork to make this one happen and extend the series one more map. But Lydia and Sarah still have something to say about it, and 1 minute left in the round.
The only silver lining is that there's no big ult except for the not dead yet. So Melia has to start moving out here so that she becomes a tip of the spear so the other two could follow up.
The push. The Vandal's going to draw the fire down to 25 HP, and now they're going to cause the util to have to clear up top. Oh, 9!
Oh my
Just the
gosh.
outside of the shock dart. This is insane. The next shock dart goes up top. Delay coming in now from Sarah's utility. Melia hits the first one. They know exactly where she is now. They jump down for the shorty. That's going to be a not dead yet. A kill
my
for
God.
Sarah. It's the classic. Oh my God. Melia saves the day, saves the series, and FlyQuest stay aloft here in the lower bracket final.
What a nice try there for Sarah, but it is definitely the
win.
story of FlyQuest flying high for the retake and the comeback here for the first and second half to be able to push this into a
Holy.
fourth map. That was such an insane, dude. I was snoozing like this.
I'm falling out of my chair over
I got
here.
my oomphy ready to go to bed and just close up this stream. But
No
now we're
way.
ready. I'm probably gonna have to take this off the next map.
No way, no way. The break's too long, so we're gonna throw to it right now. There's way more to go. The desk is gonna break it down. We got more maps. Break.
Bring it.
We'll go to break.
Bring it.